Just so excited to finally get a chance to talk to you. So,
I know. It's been like
um,
several weeks. Crazy
yeah,
weeks.
yeah. And there was a Dreamforce in there as well, among everything else that was going on, right?
I know. I know. It seems like, I swear every time we talk, there's like the perfect storm going on, right? But it's
That's all
good.
right.
Hmm.
Yeah, you had a chance to really connect. So, um, uh, I like the idea of you and I just getting a chance to talk because I want to focus on Nerdforce for the next year as it's coming along
Yep.
and what we can do because I felt really inspired and invigorated leading up to Dreamforce and Nerdforce Con and everything else that was going on. I was mentally exhausted and emotionally drained, and I'm like, I almost for half a second thought maybe we should just kind of pull it back a little bit, but now, no, now I'm putting more gas on it. We're gonna do more. We're gonna do
Yep.
better.
Yeah,
So
it all came together in the end, and I think that's typically how things go, right? Is you stress about things and you stress so much about them and you want them to go well, and that it's common to think, well, maybe if I just play it safer, right?
yeah.
That it'll do better, but having faith that
Hmm.
things will work out, and they did. I mean, so many people stepped up to help,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was just amazing how much money was
Yeah.
raised.
Oh yeah.
I'm just floored still.
Yeah. Yeah. Final tally after Charlie won the bid on the poster. Which congratulations, Charlie. Thank you again for participating and playing.
Yeah, that was
Um,
fantastic.
$3,400. So, um, and
It's
to be
amazing.
honest, it doesn't even end there because uh, if Extra Life Day is November 5th. And I was talking to my oldest daughter, and I asked her if she'd be interested in doing some sort of board game marathon and getting some of her friends to help sponsor and raise in for another event. She felt a little bit left out because she wanted to be involved in the first place. But
Yeah.
so we're going to do that. Tomorrow, she's going to talk to a handful of her friends. We're going to do a 6-hour board game marathon at the coffee shop around here and try to raise just a little bit of extra money on top of it. So,
Cool. Cool.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I will talk to my boys. I'm sure my boys would be in on that as well. That's a great idea.
Cool. Yeah, I'll make sure I'll send you over the links. We're going to use the same donation site for where it's at,
Perfect.
and it'll work out really well. The people at Extra Life have been super cool to me, and maybe I need to find a way to get you one as well. But here, can you see this right here?
Ooh, a phone case.
A really nice phone case in etched wood.
Awesome.
So
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah, now I got to get a 6S to match it.
You can send that right over to me.
Oh yeah, we're playing around with the 6S right now. Stephanie actually dumped out on her Samsung because she was going to get a new phone and she was going to get the what is it the notebook,
The
the one
note,
that's,
yeah.
yeah, the one that's exploding. So
Yes. The one that they banned from all airplanes.
how convenient for a number
Yeah.
of salespeople, right?
Yeah.
But she's very anti-Apple. I think she's always felt like Apple. If you have an Apple, it's because you're just joining the bandwagon with everybody else. And I'm like, okay, sure, you can have that point of view, but
Yep.
she's testing the
Yeah.
waters with the 6S right now.
See, we have the same thing in my family. I'm
Hmm.
very pro Apple. I grew up
Yeah.
when Steve Jobs and Pixar was just really, really starting to take shape. And so I'm a super uber Apple fan. My
Yeah.
husband, on the other hand, is not so much. In fact, he does pretty much anything he can to stay away from the Apple products. And he just got one of the new Galaxies that has the mods you can attach to the back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Which are
Hmm.
pretty cool because he's got a speaker mod, and you take the back of the phone off and you pop the speaker on, and it's got its own little speaker. And then
Okay.
he's got one that's a camera mod, and you pop the camera on the back of it, and it looks, and it's got a zoom and everything. It acts like a regular camera, and then it
Yeah.
has a projection mod. He doesn't have that one yet, but it'll do a projector.
That's
So
fantastic.
they're pretty cool. He likes all the gadgets and things. I like the fact that my kids have iPhones, and so I can use the Find My iPhone app, and I can see where they're at. I can ping their phone with the Find My iPhone app if they're ignoring me, which
Okay.
teenagers teenagers sometimes do that, and you can send, even if they set it on silent, it'll force a sound out of their phone, which is super cool.
Nice.
And then I have them all set up on the same account, and they don't have the password. I have the password. So if they want
Okay.
an app, they have to ask me for it, and they have to hand me their phone so that I can enter the password in and get them the app. So it gives me a little control as a parent over
Right.
what they're putting on their phones and what
Sure.
they're doing. So I kind of like that. I know
Mhm.
that's sort of big brother, parent kind of thing, but
Yeah,
as a
but
parent, that's my job.
that's what
So
you're supposed to do, 100%. So, no, I
yeah.
don't fault you for that. I think the issue is it's just there's goods and bads, there's pros and cons for all of them. That mod
Yep.
thing is really cool because if somebody is a photographer and
Hmm.
they want to be able to take really great photos from their phone, they can do decent photos with my 5S and soon to be a 6S.
Hmm.
And even better with the 7.
Yep.
But if you want a really nice telephoto lens, it's a little bit difficult to
Yeah.
apply.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of, the gadgets are always cool. We love gadgets. Look at us with our new microphones.
Oh, these are the awesomest, nerdiest phones. I looked up after you showed me that. I'm like, I'm gonna go find some other crazy, nerdy, wild microphone, and this is the only company that I found that really is putting anything out that's as chic.
It's like
So
so cool. So it's called a widget.
yes,
And they have, I think, 3 different models, right? Is it?
of this series, I looked at they have some more expensive Bumblebee versions,
Yep.
and those are coming up for $300, $500, $800. I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
just, you
that's
just
a
need to
little
hear my
too rich
voice.
for my blood. But they're super cool looking. They're all retro and they're like,
Yeah.
they got
Yep.
great colors and, they're perfect for the Nerdforce fan.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
And
You've got
and
the
this
you've
yeah,
got
I
the
got
blue C, right?
yeah, the blue and yellow one and it's you've got the yellow and red.
Yellow and red, and I like it because it looks like a particle. Makes me feel like I'm doing the Big Bang Theory
It
promo.
it does. Mine's pretty retro looking, especially
Yeah,
in
I like it.
front. Yeah,
Hmm.
so it's super cool. And the sound is really good. I
Yeah,
was playing with it the other day, and just even if you set pretty far back from it, it's pretty nice. So
catch you pretty far back.
hopefully, all of our Nerd Force listeners are
Hmm.
noticing an uptick in the sound quality.
Yeah, yeah. Now my voice will really carry for miles and miles, right? Instead of
Exactly.
being a little bit rough around the edges. That's all right. I've got that $20 mic. I didn't really throw it away, the one that I blame on the Steve Mo one, but I did throw it, and then I
Nice.
had to go recollect it after a while. So
Yeah, yeah. It's the first one you started out with. You got to
yeah,
kind of keep
well,
that.
keep it around until I clean out my desk and my junk and everything. So
Exactly. So
um,
are you recovered from Dreamforce?
I did. I did. I came back and really just pondered and thought about where I want to go next. And it's actually boiling up to tomorrow. Finally, I have all my executives in the home office here in Oklahoma City, and I'm going to corner them. I asked, put in a formal, hey, on your itinerary, make sure you save some time for me. They never got back to me. I'm just going to barge in. I'm going to take over. I'm going to look, I told you 3 years ago that whenever I took over as the full system administrator and the business process director, that I want to see things happen. And over the last couple years, I've seen little small changes, and I want to make a big change. I want to make a big implementation, and I want to have a huge impact on the company. So I've been piecing together. I've got rough notes all over the place. I wish I was a little bit more organized, but I've got 5 different notepads with notes about how I want to apply a a change management process.
Hmm.
And it's there. I've built it for myself and I use it, but trying to get other people involved. Part of applying a change into a company is the iteration and the communication back and forth, and
Yep.
that's the one piece that's missing,
The
right?
missing piece. Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to him about, I don't care if you're busy. I don't care if you're in North Carolina or Rhode Island. I need you guys to be able to talk with me about your problems and not tell me 3 months down the line that I didn't apply this because it didn't work because of A, B, or C. That doesn't do me any good, and I'm back to square one. So
Hmm.
you just heard the rough draft of my approach, and now I got to try to tone it into a happier, positive march about how we're going to move forward instead of my dour mood I get about it sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's easy to get into that dour mood for sure, but I think, kind of spinning it
Hmm.
in a way that they'll get it, right? So, I mean,
Right.
when they march into somewhere and they expect people to make changes in their processes, which they do as executives, that's their
Yeah.
jobs, and it's changes that are going to affect the bottom line.
Hmm.
And what would happen if they weren't told for 3 months that something wasn't working the way that
Right.
they expected it to work? That would
Yeah.
really affect the business. And they need to realize that works both ways. You
Yeah.
know, it works not only just down the hill, but it works up the hill too. So
Right.
they need to be a part of the process, because what you're doing with the system is really something that can ultimately affect the bottom line. And sometimes you
Hmm.
have to show them how
Yeah.
that can affect the bottom line. Because it can, if you can create efficiencies in what they're doing, then
Hmm.
they can focus more of their effort on their job and
Absolutely.
using their abilities for their job, as opposed to using their abilities, doing some grunt work
Right.
that they wouldn't necessarily have to do if they were able to work effectively with you on implementing some of these processes. So,
Sure. Sure. It's a
kind of
symbiotic
take that
relationship.
spin. Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
I'm here to help you out. I'm not here to make you get a headache because you have to
You're
learn
like
something new.
you're like the bird sitting on their shoulder picking at their knits, right?
Yeah, that's it, Neil. I'm just picking at your knits.
Picking at the knits and eating them, helping them itch less.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what a big takeaway I took from Dreamforce is having a positive impact. I got that through the Extra Life, how great it felt to make a good positive change. But I want to make a positive change in my company as well, and I want to, thanks to a couple of the sessions I saw between Ben's session on requirements driving processes, processes driving requirements. Amazing session. I don't know if you made it or not. It was a packed house.
I didn't. I know it was a packed house, and it's on my playlist for sure.
Yeah, he's an amazing speaker. And then the other one that had a huge impact on me was Chris Duarte was how to write the Trailhead Way, and that was an
Hmm.
admin theater session. That one was a really good one too. I don't know if you heard about it, but I forget the name of the guy, but he was running around with a camera crew, and he jumped up on stage and started. He was with the Daily Show. He was the bad guy in the movie from the Last Avatar.
No idea.
Somebody's gonna have to look it up.
I know.
He was doing some sort of promotional stuff, and he jumped up on stage and he interrupted Chris Duarte as she was introducing. Man, it must be late. I don't remember her name. I met her so many times. Kieran. Kieran.
Yes. Hmm.
Yes.
Kieran
Yeah.
Jameson.
And everybody was smiling and allowed him to come through, but I could tell in the front row that they weren't too happy to be interrupted in their only 20 minutes in admin theater zone to sit
Yeah.
and say hi to the guy who's making promo videos for Salesforce. It was fun though. The main point is that writing the Trailhead Way is key because I need to get better documentation, and if I can write like they write Trailhead for my documentation, then I think my users are going to win.
Yeah. Yeah. I absolutely think they will. They've obviously got something special going. I mean,
Mhm.
if you look at the fact that the 170,000 attendee conference was themed completely after Trailhead,
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, it's just amazing what that has done for anyone looking to extend their knowledge. It's
yeah.
amazing.
That is actually a huge win, I'd say, for the whole Trailhead team because it was just last year. It was just a basic idea that just been around for maybe 6 months or so. People are starting
Yep.
to get into it,
Hmm.
and now it's changed everything around. So what was your big takeaway then?
Oh gosh, Dreamforce for me was it was sort of a difficult week. I hate to say, I was this is my fifth Dreamforce, yours as well, right?
Yeah, The big five.
And last year I did a lot of sessions, speaking sessions, and I came away a little, I mean, I was proud of myself for doing speaking sessions, but a little disappointed because I didn't go to sessions. And my goal this year was to go to more sessions. So I didn't actually submit any speaking events. I still ended up on 4, which, you know, it's the way it works out sometimes, right? And that's okay. They were all very good. I didn't get to go to as many sessions as I wanted to go to. I spent a lot of time kind of hanging out in the admin theater and just really in that whole downstairs zone in Moscone West, and sort of making my way around and kind of lurking in sessions, which was a good thing. Yeah. I did a lot more talking to people one-on-one than I've done in the past. I'm a little bit of an introvert, so that sort of makes me uncomfortable. So I tried to kind of push myself there. And I went to some of the keynotes that I really wanted to go to. I think, you know, next year I'm going to have a better focus. I think with the way my job has evolved over the last 6 months or so with our acquisition. Things are just still a little gray and weird. And that week we had just the weekend before moved into the house, and so my head was spinning from getting out of our apartment and moving into the house. And you know, I was getting texts from my husband about, you know, the contractors are still there and they've got questions about this and that, and he's trying to keep things going at the house. So it was kind of, for me, it was a bit of a difficult week, which I hate to say, because this is like, you know, I mean, I look forward to Dreamforce every year, and it became something that was not, you know, I mean, it was not what I was hoping it would be. But, you know, I will say for me, it was sort of a culmination of a difficult year because, you know, this time last year, things were going great. You know, Nerdforce was really picking up and taking off. I was blogging a lot. Things were really happening, you know, and I really felt like my career was really, you know, moving in places that I wanted it to go, personally, professionally, everything. And then we had that stupid tornado, which sort of spun us around, you know, and the fact that everybody reached out from the community was super awesome. Yeah. And this, you know, Dreamforce happening days after we moved back into our rebuilt house was sort of, I mean, for me, it was a very emotional thing because now I've moved back into my house and here I am, and I'm seeing people who just reached out, you know, who were talking to me every day, checking on me, you know, everybody who's reached out. And it was, you know, it was an emotional experience. And sitting at that keynote, some people saw me, some people didn't, but I was sitting at the keynote, Mark's keynote, and right at the beginning when Peter Coffey gets up and he starts to introduce the Hawaiian dancers. Right. And before he introduces them, he starts talking about the word ohana and what the word ohana means. Yeah. And then they start singing. And as he talks about that and they start singing, I sort of was overwhelmed with the emotion of everything that's happened in the last 9 months. And really the whole ohana, I mean, ohana in itself just encompasses how I was lifted up as a family member. You know, people who didn't even really know me and had never met me in real life, you know, treated me as an ohana family member. Yeah. And I sat in my chair at the keynote and bawled. I mean, I was sobbing as they walked up the aisle beside me singing their song. Wow. You know, and for me was the culmination of my experience that week at Dreamforce, because it was really that chance for me to sort of come to terms with the fact that, I mean, that we are one ohana, and that it's not just a word that's bandied around. I'm a I'm a living example of the fact that Salesforce really fosters that, and that it really does resonate with the entire community. So for me, that's what I walked away with. And it was like a little bit of closure for me, which was a good thing. And I think at this point now it's okay. Now we can start to kind of,
right,
settle and move forward.
It does seem perfect the way it lined up right there, where you got into your house and then like hours later you're on a plane to go and meet with everybody. I imagine you'd probably enjoy it if that closure came maybe a weekend after you moved in and you had a couple days to unpack.
Yeah, but that probably would have given me a little more emotional stability. But yeah, I was sort of an emotional wreck that entire week. And that's okay. It's hard for me to, a lot of times people were seeing me and they're like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Yes." It was a really emotional week for me. Not just, the entire Ohana theme, the moving back into the house, everybody's asking me how I'm doing about the tornado, and then we have, this huge Nerdforce thing, Nerdforce Con, and, everything that we've done with Extra Life that sort of really just came to a head, and it was just, it all just fit together so well.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how I read somewhere that now they announced that Dreamforce is the second largest tech conference in the world. And it's weird because I've never been to the CES. I went to wind energy conferences a couple times back in my school days. I don't know if there's any other conference that really has Ohana's the perfect word for it, but it's that family community where you get to know and you see people and you learn and you grow mentally and emotionally at the same time. I think, I'm assuming, because I haven't been to all these other conferences, that this is unique, and you're not going to find that at the what's the conference I'm keeping inviting to in Vegas? NetSuite.
Oh gosh.
I keep getting invited to that one. I'm like, why? Guys, it says in my name right there, Salesforce.
Even the week before, my IT guy was at the Microsoft conference in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing like it.
Yeah.
And it's something that Mark Benioff and his teams have really just done such an awesome job at making us, who are end users, who are not in any way, we're not employed by Salesforce. We just, it's kind of like when you go to a college, when you go to Texas A&M or when you go somewhere like that, and you just, you just sort of bleed that, you just bleed that emotion, and you just all feel the same camaraderie. It's hard to explain.
It's enthusiasm, and it's like almost a mass hysteria of enthusiasm because everybody's really excited and jumping at it. It helps whenever Tony Robbins is there. I mean, everybody's already really excited when he doesn't speak, but whenever he does, it's amazing. This year, I don't know if you had the chance, but they did release his video. They usually don't. So you can watch the 3.5 hours of him speaking, and that just made my Tuesday. I sat there and worked all afternoon and was invigorated and building a change set at the same time.
Yep. It's just fantastic. It's amazing.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, hold on. My battery is about to die, so I got to figure out how to plug it in. Hold on. I don't know why it's not plugged in. Okay, so I can still talk and listen, so I'm just not on video.
I can say that I got equally emotionally built up during everything. I think I mentioned in my blog afterwards that I was very excited about having all of the MVPs over there during Mark's keynote right afterwards kind of stop Parker Harris from leaving and getting that poster signed for me.
That was amazing.
I could not have had a better moment than that right there. And even to the point where I was so full of adrenaline at the time that it didn't occur to me until the very next morning whenever I was talking to everybody about it that I realized how important that was to me. So, yeah, I'm totally with you on the Ohana. I enjoyed everybody's company, and I enjoyed had a blast doing everything. So,
There's so many of us that have experienced it and understand it.
hold on. We've got chipmunk voice with you, Nana. Now.
Yeah?
Uh
Okay, well, I got plugged in, so something else must have unplugged.
oh.
Or...
Okay, I can barely understand you, but it sounds awesome.
Okay, how about... Is this working? Better? I'm going to switch my microphone.
Oh, you're almost back. I heard something.
Okay, switch back to my regular
Okay.
microphone. So
Okay.
I got to switch back to my widget because the widget is cool.
Yeah, no, it did.
Okay.
There
Is
you
this
go.
better?
Yeah, it just needed to be reset.
Okay. Cool.
It
Chipmunk.
seriously, yeah, it turned up to 33 on the turntable. It was fantastic.
Nice.
So
this will be fun to listen back. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many people that understand the concept. There's so many people that have no clue why we're so enthusiastic about Salesforce and Dreamforce and all of this. And it's hard to explain. It's something you just have to experience, I think.
Yeah, it is. I mean, even Stephanie, I've got her somewhat interested and excited, and then maybe she's excited for me, but I don't think she has gotten nose deep like I have. But friend of the family, 14-year-old girl who I've known her entire life, she listens to the podcast, and she talks to me more about Salesforce than even some of the people that I work with. So
That's cool. That's super cool.
yeah, that's really fun. And then getting kids more involved with everything in Salesforce. I spoke to you about Code Combat, or maybe you told me about it maybe 6 months ago, 9 months ago.
Yeah, I think I remember talking about
You
it
heard of it?
vaguely.
So the whole concept is you can go in there and you have a little knight, and using code, and you can pick which language you want to speak in, and it teaches you how to do the most basic things of move your knight.
Yep, I remember.
Right,
I remember talking about that because I was like, "Oh, give me the name of that," because I got to get my boys involved. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my 10-year-old has been too busy. She's been practicing dance and her violin, and she's been working very hard on her penmanship and has done amazing work. So since she hasn't had time, I introduced to the 7-year-old who they were off of school today. So I'm like, okay, well, you're gone. Your grandmother's going to be in the other room watching TV with your brother. Play this game. And I got her started before I went to work. When I came back, she had finished 10 levels.
Wow.
And has learned how to code her little knight to move all over the page. So
That's so awesome. It's amazing how much they pick up at that age.
Yeah.
You know, they really do. And it just takes a little bit of guidance. You know, it's so easy to let them, you know, do video games and Minecraft and, you know, things like that. And I'm totally okay with those things because for me, they expand the mind. I love the imaginative play.
Yeah.
But being able to get them involved in something like this, like the Code Combat, is even better because they get to play and they're learning while they play, which is kind of like pureeing those vegetables into their food. It's kind of sneaky, right?
Right. Yeah. You're like, I tricked you into learning how to code, but
Exactly.
she got it whenever she realized what's going on. I'm like, yeah, and if you learn how to do this. I think what really got the spark going in her eyes is it asked you to put your age in, and the lowest age range was 13 to 16.
Oh.
And I said, so if you can conquer this whole first world, then you definitely are doing better than many teenagers are right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. Way to go.
Yay. That one was fun. That one was fun.
Super cool.
And then for my the elder, since she's working on her penmanship, she did pretty good. You're not going to be able to see it too well, but I got her some calligraphy pens while I was in Japantown.
Awesome.
And I gave her a poem to Oh, I was wondering what that was. I thought a spider was on my head. Uh,
It's
uh,
almost back to D&DF. Spiders. Oh my
no.
gosh. Sorry.
Uh, I looked up the poem from because I've been on a Gene Wilder kick for the last 2 months because we lost a great man
Hmm.
in the entertainment world, and I gave her this poem. That's actually like 150 years old. We are the music makers and the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, world losers and world forsakers on whom the pale moon gleams. Yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems.
Hmm.
And I love that so much. And then I told her, just go and copy this down. And then she did it 5 times, and each time it was more beautiful than the next. And
Yep.
and now that's hanging up on her wall, so she can see it every single day.
That's awesome. That's
Yes.
awesome. Repetition, the things that we do to help our kids out. And, it's funny because it feels like Trailhead is sort of the
Hmm.
same way for us, right?
Yeah.
So the things we do to help our kids get better at what they're struggling with, or even better at what they're good at, right?
Yeah.
We do what we can as parents to kind of help broaden their horizons and build their skills. and
Yeah.
and Salesforce with Trailhead has done the same thing for admins and developers and end users.
Yeah. No,
So,
no. It's been great. And the end users I've got to use Trailhead have become my super users, the people I
yep.
go to. And when I implement a change, I don't even talk to the executives. I should because they should want to, but instead I go to my senior engineer, and he helps me develop and push things through our opportunity and our project, because that's where we have a lot of our inputs and technical data. And usually if I ask an executive anyway, they go, well, what's JT think? I'm like, okay, well, at least you know now.
Hmm.
That's all I wanted. And I work with my other guy over in the project management side, and what's Brad think? Well, if Brad knows what's going on, then they're happy with it. But that's all I want, just open
Yep.
communication, right?
Exactly. Exactly. It's fantastic. So Nerdforce Con, D&DF.
Mm-hmm.
Where does it go from here?
So where does it go,
I
man?
know.
I if I had my option, I would spend every Tuesday night for the next year playing Dungeons and Dragons. I guarantee Sam would jump at it, and Brian would come reluctantly, as well as Amber. I think Mark might kill me if I move forward with that plan, because that
Mark
probably
might.
takes a lot of effort to put that together. And kudos to you for doing that, because I'm building a role playing game for my girls, and I'm like, this is going to take me 8 hours to put that together. And it's still going to be a 6 hour game, so that's not too bad. The ratio's a little bit balanced, but I think
Yeah,
we're going to try
Mark
to
put some
do.
super effort into that, and I'm
Mhm.
so appreciative to him for doing that, because it was way beyond. I mean, I've never played D&D before,
Yeah.
and I was just sort of an observer,
Hmm.
helping to watch the donations as they came in and kind of manage that. But it was so much fun to watch, and I could just see watching how much effort was put into it by all of you guys.
Yeah.
Mark in particular, because he's got to manage the game and kind of drive the game. But it
Yeah.
was so much fun. And I had so many people tell me later how they thought it was so awesome and they would love to play.
Yeah.
So even if
That's
it was
great.
just a once a month, let's get everybody together for a few hours and
Hmm.
just, sort of wing it,
Yeah.
right? That
Absolutely.
might be a ton of fun to do.
So I'm going to talk to him about that. I've been giving everybody a little bit of breathing room after Dreamforce to get themselves put back together again. But I'd like to do that. If not quarterly, then monthly, or
Hmm.
vice versa. There's got to be some way we can set it up, because if we wait again until I guess it'd be October, since next year it's going to be in November for Dreamforce.
Hmm.
Um, we're going to be out of practice. I'm not even going to know how to roll a 20-sided die.
I know, I know. We're gonna have to have some like tutorials and stuff.
Okay,
So,
so if we do that, I'm gonna probably ask a couple people to come in and be a guest player for the day for the
yep.
game. Are you gonna create a character for yourself?
I could probably come up with a character.
Okay.
I'll fumble around with the whole rolling dice and like adding numbers and stuff because
Yeah.
that kind of befuddled me. But it looked like a ton of fun. I would totally get involved.
I think you need to look into the bard. The bard is able to use their charisma to convince people to do things that they need to, and they also do a little bit of singing to help out every once in a while.
I could definitely jump on that one. Okay, so I'll create a bard-like character. Nice.
That's what we need. That's what, because I remember whenever we looked around and we needed somebody with charisma to speak, and the wizard had the most charisma. We're like, we didn't organize this very well, did we?
Okay. Okay, I got my character sheet started.
So that's gonna be great. We'll work that out. And
Yep.
and there's other things. I've been pushing this idea more after every time I talk to somebody is that we in Nerdforce encourage creativity it's almost as a Zen-like therapy to make you feel better, and just by creating something.
Yep.
And if you're able to discard all of that self-doubt whenever you create something, you know, if you've ever drawn a picture or painted a picture and you look at it and you go, oh, this is crap, and then you just throw it all away. You need to keep yourself from doing that.
Yep.
And I think, Nana, you and I can be excellent producers of creative content in the Salesforce world with a whole number of different mediums.
Yep.
And so I told people, bring me your ideas and I will help. I don't know how I will help, but I will help. I will do the best I can. I've listened to a lot of podcasts where they talk to and interview like producers of what's her name? Gail Ann Andrews. I'm probably wrong on that name. She produced The Abyss and Terminator and all sorts of great, amazing movies throughout the 80s and 90s and beyond. And she said, a great producer is just somebody who knows how to make something work, make a plan come together. Mm-hmm. And I think that I might be pretty good at that because I've got this bad habit of studying up on something and getting really, really focused and nerdy down on that. And then
hey, you made a ton of stuff happen leading up to Dreamforce. So I think you do have that ability for sure.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I see a shiny light and I gotta go get that. I've been because the boss man really loves Quip. I've been studying up on Quip, and I am as close to becoming a Quip expert.
Awesome.
And if we come close to it and not implement it, I may have to throttle an executive or two. But so yeah, there's people out there. There's people out there who can create something. They've got a great idea. I was talking to somebody on Twitter, and I don't know if this qualifies, but maybe it qualifies. I was trying to take a picture of my deployment fish, and I missed it. And it ended up just being a circle with a funny little gray line on the side. So I said it'd be great if I missed it. I think Ben put out there, or Dale said, we need to get a developer to make an app that will take a snapshot of your developer fish in perfect spot every single time, so you can always go and push out how that. So and I mentioned on Twitter, I said, any developer who can build that, I will help in any way or fashion. Again, I don't know what I can do to help on that one. Yes. It seems like it's pretty much just a you, but I will root you on.
I will cheer you on. You. Yeah.
Test. I will.
Awesome.
Yes. So
promote it.
And you can put it out on the App Exchange, and we will tell everybody in the world about it, and it'll be the greatest thing in the world.
Yep. I think, sort of as Nerdforce co-hosts, we sort of are the encouragers, right?
Yeah.
No matter what it is, and that's why we always get so excited about, our guest accomplices and what they nerd out over. It doesn't matter what they nerd out over. I'm not super into cars, and but we've had a couple guests on who we nerd out over cars, and it's okay. It is. It's all about fostering that creativity and that love of something, and you know, when you have a love and a passion for something, it shows. It shows in what you do, even when you're not doing that something. And it shows that you have a passion for something, and that those passions translate. They translate into your everyday life, and they translate into your work life. You know, and you become passionate about other things as well. So
it says something about you too. If you've got something, it doesn't matter what it is that you're so focused on and you love it.
Yes,
absolutely.
It could be toothpick building. I don't care.
that says that you're a good person at heart, and that you care about something, because it's that guy. People like this, and I know that you know some people like this, and I know that you listeners out there know somebody who doesn't like anything. Every movie that comes out, there's a reason why that movie's gonna suck. Oh, it's gonna be horrible. Every change that comes out, every update for Salesforce, well, here's all the things they didn't do for us. No, let's celebrate what's being made. Let's celebrate what's being created, and in turn create something yourself, right?
Yep.
So
yeah, I mean we've got to in turn. I mean, you know, there's so much negativity in the world. You know, I think one of the common bonds that we all have, you know, in the Ohana, is that we sort of focus on the positive. You know, it doesn't mean we don't mention the negative. I mean, you know, I have a lot of tweets that have the hashtag why admins drink. But that doesn't mean that's what I focus on. That's a way to sort of blow off that steam so that I don't focus on it, right?
That's a venting. That's all it is.
It is. It's a bonding with my fellow Ohana about that. But we, you know, it's sort of about taking those positives and really helping others understand why they're positives. And you know, on our podcast, you know, we really try to celebrate all those stupid, cool, positive things, whether, you know, half the people are not listening because they don't think we're cool. I don't care. I'm a nerd. I'm proud to be a nerd. You know,
absolutely.
I'm good with that. You know, you know, and I think, you know, helping people to understand that it's okay. You know, you let that little light shine. You know, don't hide it under a bushel. Let that light shine. It doesn't matter what color the light is. It could be any color. It doesn't matter whether the light's a really tiny little light or a really bright little light. Let that damn light shine. You got a light, let it shine. Right?
You sounds like you're about to break out in song here for us.
I am. I'm thinking about it.
This made me think about it because this is actually sitting right here. I haven't had a chance to color in it yet, but this is another thing that just proves that... did you get one of these, Nana?
I did not.
I'm really sorry. We need to ask around.
It's okay.
This is the coloring book.
Super awesome coloring book. I know.
If that doesn't scream out, be creative and make something, I don't know what does. So
it does. It does. Now I will say, after getting back from Dreamforce last weekend, last Sunday night, I took my daughter to a Chance the Rapper concert.
Okay.
And if you don't know who Chance the Rapper is, he's this really awesome, cool hip-hop artist that's out and about nowadays. He does lots of collaborations with other artists, and he actually released his first album just for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean,
tell me about that.
He's just super cool, and his album is called Coloring Book. And so his tour is the Coloring Book Tour. And when I took her to the concert the other night, which was an interesting concert, I was like probably the oldest person there. But it was okay. We had fun. But they actually sold Chance the Rapper coloring books.
Yeah.
And they were selling out like crazy. We brought one home, you know. It's, you know, and I think that in itself, again, with the coloring books, the Trailhead coloring books, and you know, it's about being okay with being a little dorky and celebrating and having fun and being kid-like, right?
Oh, yeah.
And embracing
Absolutely.
that.
There's something great about it. I was dancing in the car today because my Sharona came on, and I had a 7-year-old and a 2-year-old in the back seat. And,
my Sharona.
Yeah, no, I was rocking out to it, and the car next to me, they rolled down their window and they started dancing along. I'm like,
Awesome.
yeah, that's a win. If you can start a dance party at a stoplight, then
Yep.
then you win at life.
You do.
Congratulations.
You do. That's awesome. That's awesome. So Nerdforce Con next year.
hmm
So
hmm
my intent is for Nerdforce Con next year to be the party to attend.
Yep. Yep. We got to focus more on the party. I feel like there's some people who felt like we could have done more, and
Mm-hmm.
I get it. I totally get it because I got there and I was all over the place. I think you may have noticed, but I was a little bit nervous before it all started,
It's okay.
just a little bit.
It's okay.
Uh, yeah, and then I focused on the Dungeons and Dragons game. So Mark talks about it'd be great if we can get into the admin zone and play that, and
Mm-hmm.
that would mean we'd have to have a dedicated place where we could play for probably a good 2 hours if somebody
Mm-hmm.
would be up for that.
Yep.
And that would allow us to segment and say, hey, we're doing the Dungeons and Dragons thing here, and we're raising money here, and we're doing something good, but let's celebrate nerd all together in one different spot. So I like that plan.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's probably my takeaway from Nerdforce Con, is that, by meshing it up with the DNDF, it's the morning thing was great, because we were able to focus on the final DNDF battle, so it was
Yeah.
good. I think if we do, a party next year, that it really needs to focus on celebrating the nerd
hmm
and
Um,
and really, kind of doing that whole Comic-Con kind of thing.
yeah.
Nerd out, come as your nerdy self. Let's celebrate that. I would
Totally.
love to get some uber cool, nerdy celebrity,
Yeah.
potentially. I don't know
That'd be
who,
Yep.
you
Yep.
know, but
We're
think
looking at
about
you,
it.
Bill Nye.
Hey, or Weird Al, or the cast from the new Netflix original Mascots, or I mean, just something silly
Sure.
stupid, right?
Absolutely.
And we can all be silly stupid together,
Yep.
and it's okay, and you don't have to stress about going to a party and what you're going to wear and what people are going to think of you.
Nope.
It's just a super comfortable, come as you are, come dressed up, be yourself, and let's celebrate the you that you are,
Yeah.
because we're all one Ohana, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
it all kind of
absolutely.
comes back. And so, Aptus was super awesome this year and hosting a space for us. And
hmm
we hope we get, a similar sponsor for next year. And, maybe, start the talks about that earlier so that we can
Yeah.
secure a good location and a really great time slot.
We're gonna do that. We'll start rather soon.
Yep.
Probably get through the end of the year, but not much longer after that. We're gonna start putting pieces together and making sure we get a spot and a place in DF17. I think it's gonna be
Yep.
fun. It's gonna be a blast.
I think it will too. Super
Um,
awesome.
I think the Dream Crate grew extremely large.
Yes, it did.
Um, and I think we need to consider, and we'll talk to some other people about this, but having like a professional and enterprise and unlimited version, maybe, if we're going to get that many people to throw things in.
I like that. That's a great idea. A couple different versions, and I think maybe we did a great job at gathering the items. I think
Yeah.
probably promotion is something we need to focus on next time, and figure out some better ways and get some assistance and some promotion to sort of drive those bids up,
Yeah.
and get the bids out into sort of more people, right, than
Sure.
our circle that we've got.
Sure.
So that'd be focus for
And
me.
and going back to the producer idea, recruiting more people. Everybody wanted to help, but if we were able to come up with a better delegated list,
Yep.
if we do end up having like 2 or 3 different dream crates that are organized, you're like, okay, well, Eric Dreschfield, maybe you can manage this one particular crate, or or Christy actually would do an excellent job on managing a crate all to herself. And now it's not too much for her. We're not like overloading on somebody, but we kind of leverage all the nerds that are out there, all the guest accomplices that have done so much for us already.
Exactly, and see if we can double what we did this year, triple maybe.
Yeah. Hey.
What do you think?
I think so. If we already set the level at high at a 10 grand,
that's what I was thinking. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Go up one extra digit. I think we can do it. We can do it.
I think we can do it. We've got like a ton of listeners, like thousands of listeners that can help us do that, right?
Absolutely. Or my dad just sits at home and he re-downloads the podcast over and over and over again.
Whatever works. Whatever works. It's all good.
We've got time to work on it, and we've got big plans. I think it just goes to show that you and I enjoyed it so much that we're already planning for next year.
Exactly.
12 months away. So
exactly.
That'll work out well. There is one other thing I'm going to be working on throughout the year, and I'm going to try to enlist other people's help. And it came to me as an idea while talking to Dale Ziegler and Kelly Leslie. Mm-hmm. And I was explaining you heard me talk before about my character tome where I make out as if my day-to-day life is a Dungeons and Dragons character, and I get myself experience points. And they proclaimed, as I was explaining it to them, like, you just created a awesome admin productivity app / game.
Yep.
So they're very excited, and Kelly challenged me right then and there to have a game available to play for everybody at the next Dreamforce. So I'm going to try to find a way to gamify that. Yeah. Just for not just for admins, but for people who are trying to build, right?
I think so. When if you speak right at a session, you get charisma points.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, yeah, totally. Absolutely. I think it's fantastic. And we could totally make it a game, and at the end of Dreamforce, right? People can level up.
Sure.
And, I think it's awesome. Super awesome. Great idea. I will help in any way.
That's gonna be fun. I got to do some writing on it and work it out. But so that's another plan I have working on for the near future. But right now I've been working on Halloween costumes. I know that you guys have been busy, but I can't see the Gregg family passing up Halloween without getting a little bit funky.
Yeah, it's sort of jumped up on me really quickly this year, just between everything that's gone on. Last week, my daughter had a theater show, so it was every night. We were out and gone and doing something last week, and so all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, Halloween. So last year, for the boys, because Bailey is too cool to do the family theme anymore, we used to do family-themed.
Right.
Costumes, and she's too cool for that, because that's what happens when you have a teenager.
Yeah,
but
in 10 years she's gonna so miss it. She's gonna be like, why didn't I? Yeah, I know, and then I'll rub it in. So last year there's this website, and I gotta look it up. It's Wintercroft. Okay. Wintercroft.com, and we did this last year with the boys. It is the super coolest thing ever, and it's sort of low tech. Okay, so these are these paper masks. Okay, and so you pick out what mask you want, and you get the digital download, and you download it and you print it on your own cardstock paper. And then you fold the paper and you tape it or glue it where it tells you to, and it makes these super awesome cool masks. So last year we actually did 2 for the boys. Yeah. And we did them like the day before Halloween. I mean, we didn't do them like weeks in advance. We quickly put them together. Wow. And they were the most awesome masks. I mean, they were super cool looking. And if you go to that website, I'm telling you, you will look and be floored by the masks that you can get. I'm there already. I am floored.
Awesome. There's some super cool, and they're not expensive because they're just a digital download.
Sure. The prices here are all in British pounds, but
Yeah. So if you can do the,
Quick conversion. I
do the
think
quick
it's like
conversion.
1.2 right now because of Brexit and all.
Yeah.
But
So they're less than $20.
yeah,
So we'll just
nothing.
say that they're less than $20. But they have some super cool masks, and you can bling them up. So you print them
Hmm.
out, and you do all the folding and the gluing or the
Right,
taping.
and that's just your base, and then you
That's your
add on to
base.
that.
And you add feathers or
Hmm.
sequins or whatever it is you want to add, and you've got this super awesome mask that you made
Hmm.
that's unique that nobody else has in town.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. I'm already
so
looking at one of these here. It looks like it says parrot, but I could totally take that and turn it to a Skeeksies from Dark
yes,
Crystal.
yes,
That
you
would look
absolutely
so
could.
awesome.
Yeah,
So, well, good.
yeah. They're super cool. I highly recommend. Now they do have like levels on them, like for
Hmm.
easy to hard. Um,
Okay.
I would follow the levels if you're going to do them with your kids,
Okay.
unless you want to be doing the entire thing the entire time, because some of them do get pretty hard.
Yeah.
But they're like super cool, and they're low tech,
Sure.
and your kids get to say they made their costume, right?
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
So
They put
I
some
we've
effort into
been
it.
we've been looking at them again because the boys were they expressed that they kind of wanted to do that again this year.
Good for
So
them.
we've just got to pick out their masks and
Hmm.
I mean a simple cape to go with it in the most cases, and they're good to
Hmm.
go. So
Yeah. No, that's great that they're still into it and still digging it.
yeah.
Uh, Addison, I'm giving a pass this year. Usually, we try to go up and above and beyond and try to come up with these great costumes. And this year, she is going to be a very glamorous tap dancer. And I'm like,
Nice.
you're a tap dancer 2 nights a week already on
Yeah.
a regular basis. But that's all right. That's all right. I'll let it go. She's getting
Sometimes you have
older.
to let it go. Yep.
So I focused a little bit more on the younger two, and uh, our new favorite movie has been the new Ghostbusters movie. We've watched it twice since we picked up the movie a week ago. And so Elias, I built him an active, running, functioning proton pack.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about it. It's I've
So you're
got
gonna have lots of
a
pictures and videos, right?
yeah, I'll
Okay.
put pictures and videos out. It looks great. It looks amazing. Whenever he's holding it, because it ended up being so large and he's so tiny, it's like he's wrapping his arms around the whole thing whenever he's doing it. But and then to snap it all together, our Cordelia is going to be a ghost. So
Nice.
the prettiest ghost in the neighborhood.
Of
She's got this
course.
beautiful dress. I'm going to make her face all ghostly
Hmm.
and with the hollow sunken eyes. And I told her that the reason I sold her on this is I'm going to give you a bunch of slime, and you can slime your brother all you want. So
Nice.
she's gonna
That works.
make a big event about it. So yeah, that's gonna be great. And did you get a chance to see the new Ghostbuster?
I have not seen it yet. No. I'm
I
really
don't think I've
behind on my movies.
anybody who's actually seen it. I really enjoy it. I know there's some people out there like you're ruining my childhood. I'm
Yeah.
like, Paul Feig created something and you have done nothing, so you cannot say anything, good sir.
Yes.
Uh, and it's funny because the women that are in that are hilarious.
Yep.
Melissa McCarthy is amazing. Leslie Jones is hilarious. What's great about it is I asked Cordelia. I said, "Who's your favorite Ghostbuster?" And she said, "Well, it's got to be Patty or Holtzman or Abby or Aaron." And I love that she named all
All
four
of
of them
them.
and all four of the girl because she loves the old Ghostbuster movie as well.
Yep.
But the four that she named is all of the women Ghostbusters.
Vankman, man.
Oh, I love me some Bankman, but Holtzman
Yeah.
is my new hero. Kate McKinnon is hilarious in everything that she does, and I absolutely love her. And when you do watch it, you're going to be like, "It's Holtzman, baby," because she rocked some ghosts. She showed them who was boss.
Awesome.
But the 2-year-old, I was so amazed how much he loves movies, and whenever he's watching it, he's like, "Run, Ghostbusters!" And then there was like a really dramatic part, and he nearly broke down in tears because he
Aw.
thought it was going to be all over. And I'm like, "Oh my goodness, he loves movies as much as I do!
Yep.
Yay!" So
That's awesome.
yeah,
I can't
Yeah.
wait for the pictures. Very cool.
I'll send them out. I will send them out. So I don't even know how long we've been talking. Has it been an hour, 2 hours, or 3?
I don't know. It seems like 4 minutes.
Yeah, I
It
know.
just goes by so fast when we
It,
talk.
it's almost like that you and I haven't talked by ourselves in like 3 months or
I
something.
don't think we have, actually.
No, it's been a
So
while.
this is good. This is good.
Been
It's
really good.
it's good to interject every once in a while and kind of bring it back to
Yeah.
just us.
Yeah, bring it back to the original position and then reset and then
Yep.
head back out. On
Exactly.
that
We've got
note,
so many people that we need to have on.
yeah, there's a ton of people that we want to have on, and we're gonna take a new approach now. We're gonna bring on one former guest accomplice and one brand new one.
Yep.
Um, and so it'll be a little bit more of a round table or a diamond table, however we want to play it out. And there's a number of people who agreed to come on. I don't think we're going to announce everybody quite yet because schedules can happen, but I'm hoping to get some really great people on.
Yeah, I'm super excited about the most recent one. Super duper excited. That'll be fun.
I'll be. I don't think I can breathe that whole day when we start to record.
Yep.
Anyway, it's Mark Benioff, guys. I don't want to break the ice, but
I
no.
know. No. Yep, we're gonna get him before everyone else.
Everybody else. Take that, Gerholt. No, probably not. But anyway. So yeah, we'll work on that. We'll do that soon. It's the end of October now. I say we try to get the next group on in about 2 weeks and get some people's feedback and get people's feedback on what idea they want to produce, right? What do they want to build? Do they want to make a comic book based off of the Why Admins Drink Success Community group?
That would be awesome.
I will stand behind you. If you want to write some admin fiction with me, I will do whatever I can. I think I don't know. I like the idea of sticking with the administrator, the Time Lord version, because I can go and jump from anywhere, but that doesn't mean that everybody else has to. If somebody else wants to write some admin fiction, right?
I think we could do like a Hamilton-like musical about administrators.
Yeah.
It could be called, Parker or Benioff,
Yeah.
and it could
Absolutely.
be the story of how everything came about in rap version, and I'm totally down for that. So whoever wants to do that with me,
Yeah. That sounds like
because I'm not throwing away my shot. Sorry, had to do that. That was for you, Mark.
That is awesome. I like that idea. You guys, come at Nana and I with your ideas.
Yeah.
I like the Hamilton or the Parker musical and putting that together. I love what Apex has done and everything that you've done with Apex, and I love music. So my Man or Muppet song, which I don't know how many people got a chance to actually listen to it, but I know the people that did because they came to me and said that was one of the best songs to pack to when I was getting ready for Dreamforce.
So much fun.
We love creating, and I can't wait to create something new and exciting again this year.
Yep, I agree. I'm all in.
I'm
all in. Right. No more Mother Nature. I'm all in this year.
Hear ye. Well, fantastic.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, let's wrap this up tonight and get this out to the masses, and I'll talk to you guys all pretty soon. We're gonna look forward to hearing back from you.
Yep, I think we are off on another great year of adventure.
Yay, Nerdforce!
Yay, and Nerdforce out.